Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is Ultra Wide Camera Lens, and today I'm going to be showing you at least what I was able to get when I got myself a bucket of knights and dragons and pirates and castles off of Amazon. This one in particular is titled Good Peace Castle, but I'm sure that it has about a dozen variants and a lot of different product numbers and is offered from a lot of different sellers. But this is basically the gist of it. They all kind of use the same pictures to advertise what they've got. And what it is a bucket absolutely chock full with stuff so that you can build your own medieval scene, historically accurate, complete with zombie pirates and dragons. We have assembly instructions at the very top, and then we have a whole bunch of stuff in here that may or may not be considered inexpensive depending on how much you would expect to pay for something like this. And it is indeed a lot of stuff. Ash here with a word from this video sponsor. You're the sponsor. There's new benefits on the Patreon, and if you join the Mighty Hero tier now, you will gain access to a monthly quest designed by me, exclusive to members of this tier and above. You'll have access to polls to be able to vote on upcoming content, and have a special role for the Amalgam Archive Discord server. You'll be credited as a supporter at the end of every YouTube video I make, and finally, gain access to heroic quests. That's a video game. All right, back to the video. There's supposed to be like between 80 and 300 pieces. I know that's a really wide window, but again, it just depends on where you're getting it, who you're getting it from, what they're calling it, how they're advertising it. We've got a lot to go through here, so let's just jump in and get started. Now, I did unbox this once already so that I could pre-bag some of this stuff for easier unboxing. And I want to tell you right now that I got this off of Amazon Vine, which means I got it for free. And so it's going to be kind of hard to complain about something that's free, but easy to complain about my expectations versus what I would have been getting if I had paid money for it, especially the suggested retail price. These knights, they are akin to the toy plastic soldiers, the green ones that you might have played with as a kid. That doesn't feel fair. Actually, they're quite a bit sturdier, but in quality, they are about the same, and they're much too big to be used on a HeroQuest board unless you need a lot of knight statues. This is the classic board though, so these squares should be a little bit bigger, but point still stands. The kit also comes with these mounted knights with very unfortunate pegs. Well, Ash, where do you expect the peg to be? They need to sit onto the horse. Really not a revolutionary idea, they just peg right into the horse. Okay, I'm gaga for this sort of thing. I love this sort of thing. I do wish that this was like a 28 or a 32 millimeter scale. I know it's a really dumb thing to complain about, but man, if I could just have mounted units that were removable from mounts, it's a no-brainer. Anyway, there are a lot of these knights. They come in various sculpts. You've got some archers, you've got some cavalry, some vanguard. Pretty cool, but let's move on. Horses. I showed you one of the horses. There are many riders and there are many horses. There is brown trotting horse, black trotting horse, horse rearing up dramatically. It's pretty much it. Variants of the horse that kind of look like the trotting horse, but their head is up instead of down. Some of the mounted units have bows, some of them have shields and swords. None of them have jousting lances, unfortunately. And finally and inexplicably, this particular set comes with the zombie pirates. I had these on my Temu list for a while because, while I don't want to support Temu, it was like $2 or $3 and I was curious about them. I wanted to know more about the size and scale of these. Come apart, please, these monsters. And they are really cool, but I do wish that they scaled to HQ because having a bunch of zombie pirates in that game would be really neat. Anyway, if you go looking, they all seem to be this color, and not all of them are zombies. It's like Zombies X Pirates. I'm sure that it's actually very much Pirates of the Caribbean inspired. But skeleton with 2 swords, skeleton with rifle, how cool is that? That's what you'd be getting. And you can find these little guys elsewhere. A lot of the stuff in this set you could probably find mixed and matched across various combinations of sets elsewhere. Okay, next thing. This kit comes with a ton of rocks so that you can build your scene out. And yes, the rocks scale just fine with board games. You can do whatever you want with these. This might be the answer if you need giant rocks to set up on your board. Just look for a set just of these. I don't think I'm going to keep any of this. I'm going to gift it, but I will definitely be keeping some of these rocks. Like, let's say 7 of them. I think that should solve pretty much every need I would have for a 2-tile rock wall that's not a dungeon wall, but more of a collapsed rock. You could use it as a dungeon wall as well, though. Nobody's stopping you. You can do whatever you want. We're not done, though. We have this rock scenery that's really big and can be used for dioramas. These are ruins. You can break these right off the sprue, break these smaller ones right off the sprue, and then you can actually fit these together. It's not even really like a tight fit, but they are together. They are not coming apart accidentally. Now you've got a 90-degree wall. I could use these as dungeon walls for sure, but I'd rather they be on stands rather than have like 90-degree fit pieces if I'm going to use it in this though. But this looks really cool on my game board. It looks like it'll actually kind of stand up by itself too, so I don't even need the other pieces for that. Yeah, if this was just a little bit different and had a little bit more stability and I could stand it up by itself, this would be really cool to use. The same reason as using the boulders. But what you can do with these is if you have a comfortable number of them, you can put them directly on your board to serve as the walls and give your board a little bit of dimensionality. Now, like, you don't want to do that too high or too much because it can be difficult for players across the table to see over these walls. But for the most part, walls that are this height don't look too bad, I think. I'm going to have to think on how to use this. There are 3 pegs at the bottom. I haven't come across anything with 3 pegs in it yet. There are a bunch of these fences, and you can actually take them and connect them together, and they will stand on their own. So you can just ploop and then ploop, and now you've got a hinged fence, and it'll stand on its own, like I said, because, you know, it can, I don't know how to describe this phenomenon where you can just make it stand. It'll bend either way too, and you get a bunch of them. So, but they're really big. They are really, really tall. Like, I don't know that you need these, but it looks like actually what you could do is you could take yourself a pair of trimmers and you could trim right across here. Hold on, I'm curious. I'm going to do that. And what you would like to do is kind of line up where you're going to cut with where the next peg would be, because if you cut these well enough, you can actually take and use both. So, well, it's probably going to be easier just to show you. So they cut very easily with my just Dollar Tree snippers. Oh yeah, super easy. Barely an inconvenience. All right, that's what we have done. We have trimmed this down to size. It is now only about 1 inch tall, and because of this hinge system, it will still work. But like, here's the difference in height now. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. This is still too tall, so we're going to snip these off right about there. And if you don't get it exacting, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Not going to lose any sleep over it. But you could cut these like at an angle for some variation. They're just flying everywhere. Oh my goodness. Is this legal? Am I allowed to do this? Can I just cut stuff that I get that's supposed to be part of it as a complete set? All right, we've got 2 fences now. We can hinge them together and they will stand on their own. And now you've got like an entire, well, they won't stand like this, but like this, they certainly will. And you've got yourself an entire jail cell. Look at that. Look at that. We just jailed the barbarian. You loser. You let a bunch of orcs jail you. All right, so maybe these are worth keeping. That's for future Ash to decide. Now, we've got some really big barrels with this set, and I mean, they're enormous. You could probably find some utility with them. I think they're a bit silly. We have fires. We actually have little campfires. You could paint these up pretty nice. I will say it's pretty clear what these are. These are actually more clearly campfires than the latest Avalon Hill Jungles of Delthrak bonfire expansion bits. And they only take up 1 tile. So if you need a safe room, if you need a bonfire to mark a safe room a la Dark Souls for your tabletop board game, you can do that. The barbarian's not talking to me. He's angry at me because I made an example out of him. You get siege weapons. You get this really cool, like, because it's mobile, battering ram. So like the roleplay possibilities. And then you get this siege ladder. It doesn't really move. It's not customizable, but like it works. Pesky stuck doors bringing you down? Now they're not a problem with the battering ram. Using it is easy. Simply stand on the non-business end of the battering ram and push. After 1, 2, 3, that door's open, and now you can be noping out of that dungeon. We have this, which doesn't fit onto anything. It's very standalone. It's just a tower. There is a floor that it comes with. We can take the floor and snap it into place if we slide it incorrectly. There you go, Ash. Nope, maybe turn it upside down. There you go, Ash. Use the toys the way they were intended. Good man. Okay. And this isn't like a part of anything. It just exists. You could use it on the board. It would be fine. It's got that cheap 90s fantasy toy aesthetic. It'll work. It's whatever. We have in our possession sprues that contain the ability for us to make a bridge, a rickety bridge system. I don't want to unsprue the bridge, but it'll look like this. And the main reason I don't want to unsprue it is because this would be a lot of work for kind of a short bridge. But I can show you picture of the bridge when it's complete. There it is. It's a total of like 6 steps, and it goes in between towers. And there's also an elevator that goes up and down. This set comes with the string that comprises the ropes that would be holding the elevator, lifting it up and down. So that's pretty cool. Let's build the towers. We've got the tower tops, which actually, for some reason, I thought that this set only came with the one, and I was going to be kind of annoyed that it just had one. We take these flat tower wall pieces, and we can wrap them around themselves and just pop them right into the poppy dealies. Scientific name. I'm a very technical person. I like to use the correct name, so the poppy dealies. And then we take our tower floors. I think they all look identical, so they're pretty much multi-purpose. No, we have a couple that are flat. I bet these are the ones that go at the very bottom. Gonna need to look at the instructions. Yeah, they're the bottom ones, the bottom-most. These just pop right in there. Love that. Then the next one pops right on top. Love that. Very simple. Whoops, there we go. That's what we're looking like so far. Just got to do that a number of more times. You know, I can get behind this because these will store flat when you're done with them, and you wouldn't really be any the wiser. I mean, nobody who was playing the game with you would be any the wiser. It's a pretty cool construction. If I can get injection molded hard plastic for everything on my table, I will get it, and I can be rough with it if I need to be. All right, so I really just want to build just the one tower, but that's nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it takes up a 9x9 on the classic HeroQuest board, which you see before you. This is the old board. And it would probably encroach too much on the bigger tiles. It would have to take up a 9x9 still. I say 9x9, 3x3. That's 9 tiles total, not 9. I mean, not 81. Okay, and then the heroes will actually fit in the tower. You can actually fit more than one. So you can play out some really cool scenes like this. Orc in the tower is firing on the heroes everywhere on the board because he has complete line of sight. I move my barbarian to the front of the tower and enter. Okay, that's your turn. The orc can't fire at you because obviously he cannot fire through the floor. Oh, say good night, orc. Say good night. Scenes just like that. Fantastic. Awesome. I'm going to make sure that these guys are not in here when I give this away. This set comes with 2 dragons, 2 wildly different dragons. You could probably paint these guys up. They don't look too bad. Kind of looks like the mom from Dinosaurs. Earl, I don't think that's a good idea. But Lois. Wait, no. This is, it was Lois, right? Earl and Lois? Earl, for sure. Earl Sinclair. And then the wife, Edith? I don't remember. This guy looks drastically different than the first dragon, though. He's actually really cool looking. I like this style of dragon a lot. This is a really Chad-like dragon for me. These 2 dragons you can have battling it out. By the way, they're kind of a bit rubbery. They're very flexible. They go back to their position if you move them slowly. Pretty cool. I'm a fan. You get these ridiculously huge treasure chests, and actually this gold was a separate piece, and once I snapped it in there, it never came out again. But like, this is big. This is huge. This is the master treasure of the dungeon for sure. You guys find this, you're going to be set for life. Is it a good sculpt? No. Is this going to look good on your board? I mean, in my opinion, no, but you could still have it. It's not like every single treasure chest that exists looks ornate. I mean, in fact, the more plain it looks, the less likely a criminal is going to want to bust into it. But like, why does this come with one gigantic chest and one tiny chest? Look at that. We got gold pieces. We can just snap that in there, they'll never come out again. Now this chest has been assembled and is secured. You know what? I don't mind that. It does kind of remind me of the chests from Dark World, the ones you can throw the weapons in. All right, and then we have I claim this land in the name of pirates with the crooked decal on the flag because we can't have nice things. We have trees. We have very simple trees. I don't mind trees being done like this. You're just mainly going to see them from top down anyway. Very jungly. I appreciate that. And then we have this this plant stuff. I'm honestly not sure how this is used. I don't know if this is supposed to come off of this wiry bit. If this is like the sprue, and then if these get stuffed down into different things like this, which has a hole in it, or if this hole is intended to be used with the ruins here. Oh man, this ruins wall does not have pegs or holes. Like, how the heck do you use these? It's okay. I'll just keep this intact. I won't worry about disassembling it just to try to figure that out. We also have these fun things that I don't know the name of that you can place in your dungeon. It'll take a 2x3 and it will keep enemies from advancing past it. I don't care if you have agile or not. These things are going to stop your movement. They're anti-agile. Look at this lovely little outdoor scene that I have created. We have a barbarian walking peacefully through the woods and around the siege defense structure. There's a big barrel of grog and here's a big barrel of ale. Okay, there's two more things that I have to look at here. Inexplicably, this set, I think to boast the piece number and say that it comes with X hundred amount of things, has got these tiny knights. These super tiny little guys. And they are highly entertaining, but they are not to useful scale whatsoever. These are like pygmies. You could put these in your game, okay? Nobody's going to question if you want to have a whole bunch of pygmy knights. They're going to laugh. They're going to laugh, but you could do it. You got little snotlings wearing full suits of armor here for your game. I don't know. You could do it, and like part of me wants to do it, but I have no idea what I would use these for. And the thing is, it's like 80 of them, literally, maybe even 100. There's a ton of these little guys. They really bloat the number. You can't use them with anything else in the set. And it's just, that's how they decided to do this. That's how they decided to push this thing. So it's 400-piece night play set. It's for kids. Ash, nobody cares. Nobody is going to care. You're talking to an audience who is not going to buy this unless they buy it for their kids. This thing right here, this is the mat on which you can place all of this. It's a pretty cheap mat, but it is full color. Not too bad of an image, relatively high res. It's no Loki battle mats, but you know what? It's a good way to introduce your kids to Loki battle mats. Place this down, place your castle and all that stuff on here, and you've got some beautiful scenery. You can reenact the entire siege, invasion of the pirate, zombies, and everything else in this. And that, my friends, is the entirety of the contents of the big bucket of Good Peace Castle Adventure playset, 100-piece, 80-piece, 50-piece. Here's the string. It is what it is. That's it for me. Have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.